This is Radio Nepal. I am Dila Prasai with the news, the headlines first. House of Representatives meeting postponed until today as political parties fail to force consensus on resuming parliamentary business. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda calls for meeting of the Constitutional Council today for the recommendation of the appointment of Chief Justice. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda directs concerned stakeholders and Agriculture Ministry to provide relief to the farmers bearing the loss of cattle due to lumpy skin disease and their toll from massive suicide bombing targeted at election rally in Pakistan rises to 54. Now the news in detail. The House of Representatives meeting scheduled for yesterday has been postponed until today. Prior to making this decision, Speaker Devraj Khimiri held discussions with chief whips and whips of various political parties in a bid to resolve the obstructions in the House proceedings. According to Federal Parliamentary Secretary General Dr. Bharadraj Gautam, the meeting has been rescheduled for 1 p.m. today. The main opposition party, CPNDML, has been obstructing the House proceedings, demanding the establishment of high-level committee to investigate the recent gold confiscation case from Sinamangal in Kathmandu. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda engaged in talks with CPN-UML chairman KP Sharma Oli yesterday as well to find a way out to the House obstruction, but they could not reach a substantive agreement on the matter. According to the Prime Minister's Secretariat, during the meeting held at Balwata yesterday, the Prime Minister and CPN-UML chairman Oli discussed contemporary political affairs with a particular emphasis on ending the ongoing House obstructions. Likewise, the Prime Minister also held discussions with the chief whips of the parliamentary parties of major political parties on making the federal parliament's work and business effective. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dahal has called the meeting of the Constitutional Council this afternoon for the recommendation of the appointment of the Chief Justice. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has said the government is preparing to provide relief packages to those farmers whose cattle died due to lumpy skin outbreak in the recent months. In a meeting with the Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Dr. Beduram Pushal, and all the stakeholders at the official residence of Prime Minister at Balwata yesterday, Prime Minister Dahal instructed Minister Pushal to do necessary homework to provide relief packages to the farmers bearing the brunt of loss of cattle due to the lumpy skin disease. Over 1.1 million cattle across the country are estimated to have contracted lumpy skin disease. On the occasion, Prime Minister Dahal drew the attention of the Ministry and Department of Livestock Service towards early preparedness for the epidemic like lumpy skin in coming days. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has said the government has started necessary preparations to bring about qualitative changes in public transportation service of the Kathmandu Valley. Prime Minister Dahal said the Ministry of Physical Infrastructures and Transport has taken initiatives to make necessary arrangements to run large-size buses in the Kathmandu Valley. Addressing the meeting of stakeholders at the official residence of the Prime Minister in Balwata yesterday, the Prime Minister shared that preparations have been taken to reduce traffic pressure by operating Bus Rapid Transit BRT. Minister for Agriculture and Livestock Development Dr. Beduram Pushal says there is no shortage of chemical fertilizers including urea and DAP. In a meeting of the Finance Committee under the House of Representatives yesterday, Minister Pushal said the complaints were reported by the farmers due to the problems seen in the fertilizer distribution system. The Agriculture Minister argued that the farmers could not receive fertilizer on time as the local levels failed to distribute it effectively, also citing the cause of black marketing. Minister Bhusal mentioned that 78,284 metric tons of fertilizers were in stock, adding that the source of the fertilizers for the next year was ensured. Minister for Communications and Information Technology Rekha Sharma has said the limit of foreign investment in information technology-related industry has been removed from the current fiscal year 2023-24. Addressing a program in Kathmandu yesterday, Minister Sharma said the government has prioritized the development of the communications and information technology sector. Minister Sharma added that the budget for the current fiscal year allows the industries operating with the aim of exporting information technology services to set up contact offices in the third countries. Health and Population Minister Mohan Bahadur Basnet says the government is working to provide free medical services to all the poor within 2 years. Addressing a function organized by Dhulikhel Hospital in Gabre Balanchak yesterday, the minister pledged to implement the health policy to ensure access of all the citizens to health care. He also stressed that the government monitoring has been intensified to check whether hospitals and medical colleges are providing 10% of their total beds to the poor patients. The paddy plantation rate across the country stands at 77% as of 28th of July. According to the Agriculture Information and Training Centre Chief Prakash Kumar Sanjal, 90% of paddy cultivation had already been completed in the corresponding period last year. In the Koshi province, 84% of the paddy cultivation has been carried out compared to 88% during the same period last year. Likewise, just 59% of paddy cultivation has been done in Madhya province, while the cultivation rate stands at 72% in the Bagmati province. Gandaki province has completed 82%, Lumbini province has 81%, Karnali province has 85%, and Sudur Paschim province has completed 99% of paddy cultivation. You're listening to Radio Nepal 8 AM English News Bulletin. We continue with international updates now. The death toll from a massive suicide bombing that targeted an election rally has risen to 54 in Pakistan. According to Al Jazeera, the country has held funerals and the government promised to hunt down those behind the attack. No one immediately claimed responsibility for Sunday's bombing, which also wounded nearly 200 people. Police said their initial investigation suggested that the ISI's regional affiliate could be responsible. The victims were attending a rally organized by the Zamayat Ulema-e-Islam party headed by hardline politician Fazlur Rahman. He did not attend the rally, however, and held on a large tent close to a market in Bazar, a district in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province that borders Afghanistan. The U.S. has urged Afghanistan's ruling Taliban to reverse policies responsible for the deteriorating human rights situation in the country, particularly for women, girls, and the vulnerable communities. According to BBC, it also pressed for the release of detained U.S. citizens during talks in Qatar. The Taliban said they wanted travel restrictions lifted for their leaders. The U.S. Department of State said talks with senior Taliban representatives and technocratic professionals had been held over Sunday and Monday in Doha. This delegation expressed support for the Afghan people's demands for their rights to be respected and for their voices to shape the future of the country. The U.S. wants the Taliban to reverse bans on secondary education for girls and employment for women. Meanwhile, the Taliban have burned musical instruments in Afghanistan, claiming music causes moral corruption. Thousands of dollars worth of musical equipment went up in smoke on bonfire on Saturday in western Herat province. Ahmad Sarmast, Afghanistan National Institute of Music founder, referred their actions to cultural genocide and musical vandalism. Now the general weather forecast for the country for today. Forecasting division says the weather is likely to be partly to generally cloudy throughout the country. Light to moderate rain is likely to occur at some places of Koshi province, Bagmati province, Gandaki province, and Lumbini province, and at a few places of the rest of the provinces. Kathmandu's weather report now: maximum temperature of 30.5 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature of 20.4 degrees Celsius. With this news, we have come to the end of this News Bulletin. But before we wrap up the headlines once again. House of Representatives meeting postponed until today as political parties failed to force consensus on resuming parliamentary business. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda calls meeting of the Constitutional Council today for the recommendation of the appointment of Chief Justice. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda directs concerned stakeholders and Agriculture Ministry to provide relief to the farmers bearing the loss of the cattle due to lumpy skin disease. And the toll from a massive suicide bombing targeted at election rally in Pakistan rises to 54. Well, that's all that we have for this edition. Our next English news edition is at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website www.radionepal.gov.np for more news and online programs. Stay tuned, stay safe and have a good day.